Okay.
Hello, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We're so excited to be back with you today. Today, we are going to be talking about middle school in the online environment and how that works. And today, I have Jerry, and do you say, is it Ponchin? I always think I say
Ponson, it is
Ponson.
Ponson, or some people say Ponkin. Also, some of the kids call me Mr. Popcorn.
I like that. I like that. That makes it so much easier, right?
Mr. Popcorn, Mr. Pancake, and I'll answer to most things.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Ponson is going to be sharing with us a little bit about how middle school works in the online environment, what a typical day looks like. So take it away.
Okay, so the middle school is a little bit different than the elementary school. It's a little bit more like high school, whereas you will have a different teacher for each subject, okay? And you will be on a little bit different schedule than you would in our elementary school. So you will have a few different classes a day, and you may or may not have a class every single day. So you may only have, let's say, science class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you may have a careers class on Tuesday or Thursday. So that's a little bit different than the elementary school on the middle school side. And I teach all of the careers classes, which we are one of the few middle schools, I think, around that actually introduce you to careers classes in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The careers classes, we offer a basic middle school careers class that everyone can take. We also offer different focuses, and this just depends. I'm not quite sure exactly what will be offered next year, but this year we offered a careers in education and training, careers in healthcare, careers in information technology, and careers in business as well. So those are all different classes. We were kind of looking at similar concepts in all of them, but in the focused classes, we're going to go more in depth into those careers. For instance, like this week in our business careers class, we have a virtual career tour to be a financial manager. So working with stocks and managing people's money. In our IT class, we're looking at a little bit of digital citizenship so that we can be safe online. And we are looking at sourcing your information, how to get good information, factual information that is non-biased. In our middle school, our general careers class, we have moved to exploring colleges. So we have all kinds of VR, virtual reality college tours that we can go on. All of our lessons in our careers classes right now are asynchronous. So that means you have a lot of flexibility on when you can take the course. They are not a traditional live class that gets taught every single day. They are delivered in a Nearpod lesson. And if you're familiar with Nearpod, it's a very interactive experience. They have videos. You can collaborate with your fellow students on the collaboration boards. There's even little games that are built in, matching, draw it activities. All those are provided in each and every lesson. Plus, we have virtual reality tours where using Microsoft Sway, where we can look at all kinds of details of experiences in college and careers. And we do little projects, like in our healthcare class at the beginning of the year, we did a public service announcement where everyone made a little cartoon for a public service announcement about a communicable disease. So we learn all types of things in these career classes, and they are very fun and exciting, or at least I like to think so.
Those sound awesome. Now, do they have to choose a career pathway like they do in high school, or can they maybe try a little bit of everything?
I think what we try to do is it's designed to expose them to a little bit of everything, because I don't think anyone expects when you are in middle school that you have decided what you want to do with the rest of your life. I mean, I'm 50 and I probably haven't decided that yet either. So
Yep, same.
in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, we are going to try to introduce you to as expose you to as many things as we can. And alternatives to college, we have trade careers that we did in a couple of the classes, things like that. So you're going to have exposure and you're going to be able to, the goal is that you explore all the different paths. And then in high school, you will choose a more focused path. That is a graduation requirement for the state of Indiana. So once you're in high school, then you can kind of pick, it's, you don't have to do that career, but they want you to focus on something in high
Right.
school.
Yeah. Something that really kind of grabs your interest. Yeah. And I know, so each student that enrolls with INGDA has a learning coach. That's just someone at home with them who kind of helps them if they need help. And when we did the elementary session, a lot of learning coaches in the beginning, they're super involved getting the kids set up. How do you see the learning coach's role progress, like once the students get to middle school? Do you feel like do they come to class with you? Do you feel like it's a little less? Because obviously we want them to start being on their own a little bit more in middle school.
Yes, I would say the involvement is a little bit less. You are going to elementary school. Um, Kind of the teachers and the learning coaches they're both holding one hand apiece, right? And they're walking you through your school experience. In middle school, you kind of lose one of those people a little bit more, and you're a little more on your own. Not 100% on your own, obviously. Like high school, um, in high school, your learning coach probably is the least involved of all three. But in middle school, you're going to, rely on your learning coach for a lot of things, maybe reminders of when your class times are, because you're going to definitely have different classes with different teachers, and helping you keep up on your work. That is one thing. A lot of students, sorry, cat just jumped on me.
Best part of online working, right,
Yes,
is bringing our
yes, he just
pets to work
decided to
and
visit
school.
me this time. He's been sleeping all morning. But the learning coach is not going to be as involved in elementary school, but we still expect that they are involved, checking on, making sure that a student doesn't fall too far behind. We as teachers, I have 670 some students. I can't always reach out to someone right away if they've fallen behind on 2 or 3 or 4 assignments. And once it gets to a certain point, the learning coach should say, hey, we got to buckle up here. You have 10 things that are past due. Let's knock them out today and maybe do a little extra work, or start a little earlier tomorrow and try and knock that stuff out. So it's more of a supervisory situation than a hand-holding
I
situation.
really liked your analogy about the holding both hands in elementary, and then you kind of move to one hand, and then
Mhm.
hopefully it's maybe a finger in high
Yeah,
school,
or
like
pat on the
you
back.
just
Good job. Yeah.
get hanging on. And I know that we have teams of teachers that work with all of our students. And I don't want to scare people when you say you have 600
Mhm.
students. And because our teachers have open office hours where they connect with those teachers, and they have small group sessions, so there's always time for help, in no matter what kind of class that the student is taking. There is always a teacher that's available to connect with them and help them get caught up. And we're always sending out reminders, we want you to finish strong, and let us help you, stay on track. But some of the feedback that we get from learning coaches is that it's definitely easier than what they thought it was going to be. They thought that was going to be that they were going to be the teacher and they were going to have to do 100% of the work. And a lot of our learning coaches, So it's definitely easier, and especially in middle school, once the students get the hang of the routine and what's expected of them, they kind of run with that. They like the technology piece to it and the flexibility piece to it as well, that they have a little bit more control over their day. And what we hear from our students is they like that they don't have to sit at a desk for 8 hours and just be confined to that desk. They can move around a little bit during class, or have their pets with them at school,
Yes.
have a drink with them on their desk. They don't have to ask for permission for those things, and they really enjoy that as well. Yeah. And then another question that we get all the time is about socialization opportunities within an online school. We do have in-person meetups that we get together throughout the year across the state of Indiana, because we have students all over the state of Indiana, and we have teachers all over the state of Indiana. And so we do meet up, and then we also have clubs and esports that they can participate in that are online, not only with INGDA, but with our corporate K-12 as well. So they can participate in national clubs, which I think is amazing. So do you have anything you want to add, Jerry?
Do we want to talk about Topia or
So
for
we have
socialization
been,
as well?
yeah. So we've had Jerry's kind of like, oh, should we talk about that
I
or
don't know. I don't
not?
know
It's
if we
kind
should
of a
do, we're allowed to
secret.
talk about it.
I
It's top
know, it's
secret.
super exciting. So we've been very fortunate enough to be a part of a pilot program with our K-12 corporation, and it is an online world called Topia. We call it our K-12 zone, where students can go online in a secured, safe environment. There's teacher supervision. It's like being in a school building where you're walking in the halls, and you can go into the library and go into the lunchroom, and go into the auditorium for presentations and things like that. So we have been piloting it this probably, I guess, maybe 2 months now. Is that about right, you think?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so it's really exciting. And we're pretty confident that we will get to have it again for next year. So it's just another way for our students to connect with one another and have that school experience. So, and then not in middle school, but in high school, they look forward to the in-person prom and in-person graduation as well.
Yeah, and a lot of the students do, even in our class connects, like in our homeroom class connects, I always allow my students some time to share and to socialize with each other during those live classes, because I think it's very important, and they get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it too, because I get to see what's going on in their lives. And one of my students has like 30 pets, turns out.
Wow.
Yeah. But those are the kind of things too, that socialization and the Topia world, definitely, uh, it's been really cool to interact with the kids on there and to see them interact with each other.
Yeah. And I think with the online environment, we get to know their families and their pets and things like that, that we wouldn't have that opportunity to do being in a brick and mortar. We'll get to meet their little sister that, wants to come hang out and hear the story, or, their older brother who's helping them with the lesson for the day. So we really get to know families as a whole, I think, more than what we would in a brick and mortar environment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So we are currently enrolling for next school year, the 23-24 school year. So if you would like more information, you can always send me a message here on Facebook. I'm happy to answer that. Or you can call, and I have to get my finger going the right way because it's reversed on the screen. So
You got it.
you just give us a call at 877-763-8552 to talk with any of our enrollment team. They're happy to answer any questions for you. Oh, just one last thing I did want to mention, all of the materials and laptop are provided free to the student, so there is no cost. We are a public school, and all of our teachers are licensed and certified to teach in the state of Indiana. So we have to follow the same rules as every other public school does, but we do provide free materials and free computers for all our students. So hopefully we will see you next school year. So just give us a shout out if you have any other questions, and we appreciate you tuning in today. Thanks, Jerry.
Yes, thanks.